The Limpopo River in southern Africa. Ravaged by the heat of the dry season, it becomes the stage for daily battles of survival, where even the most powerful are tested to the limit. The Limpopo, a river that feeds the heart of South Africa for just 4 months of the year. But in this dry season, it's a scar across the face of the land. A vast, dotted line of vanishing pools. When it does run, the Limpopo River spans 1,600 kilometers. Starting in South Africa, it flows east through Mozambique and then out to the Indian Ocean. Even depleted, the river is the best hope this area has to offer, and for many, the only chance of survival. The rains are many weeks away. Until then, every day is a deadly struggle for the animals of the Limpopo. This is their story. The 6-month dry season has barely begun, but the elephants of the Mashantu area are already feeling the pinch. As the young ones frolic in the pool, they're stirring up trouble for the thirsty adults. The water deep down is muddy and less oxygenated. The pool is good for cooling themselves down. Elephants prefer to drink clean water. But there's precious little as the young ones play. The thirsty giants delicately skim the clean surface water, careful not to disturb the stagnant layers beneath. It's slow going, and elephants need up to 190 liters a day. As water levels drop in the coming weeks, opportunities for playtime will run dry. The herd's ongoing search for new sources is deadly serious. They're not alone. This withering season forces prey animals like impala to herd around the dwindling resources. And where there is prey, there are predators. The impala's thirst is a mother lion's Mama's opportunity. She has 2 cubs to feed, who need a daily intake of food. Mom doesn't have to go far to wrangle supper. The impala are a good target. All of their attention is focused on getting to water. The herd, mostly females, has its own young to look after. The mothers need water to make enough milk to suckle their young. They're slowly making their way to a pool. The lioness just needs to wait for them to pass. But she'll only get one chance. She's blown it. Tonight, the lions go hungry. And that makes life a little harder for another struggling family nearby. Hyenas. This mother has 2 spirited pups to feed. Scraps from a lion kill would have been a welcome feast. Scavenging is an important part of a hyena's diet. She can smell a carcass 3 kilometers away. If the lioness had made a kill, this mother would have known about it. With no succulent smell of death in the air, she'll have to make other dinner plans. But with the pools attracting so many visitors, that won't be a problem. The impalas have made it to water. Though just a muddy pool, it means the difference between life and death. For now, it's a vital drink and will help the mothers provide enough milk in the days to come. While the young wait patiently, danger looms. The crocodile, a 3.5-meter shallow water assassin, is in his element. And when the water gets this low, he digs a hole, hides, and waits. The impalas are inches away from death. Thirst conquers fear. The mother must return to the treacherous pool. She risks her life so she can stay strong enough to nurse her young. While an older calf takes a chance on her own. For the crocodiles, opportunity is everywhere. Some don't even bother to hide. It's a good time to be a predator. The dry season burns the land. In some parts, the Limpopo flows for just 1 month a year. The daily trials for the river's wildlife will only increase. As the remaining pools shrink further, the elephant herd struggles in the heat. The youngsters leave the worrying to the adults. And the elders begin to reach their limit. When resources are scarce, the herd sticks to a strict hierarchy to reduce conflict. But some challengers are persistent. As one face-off ends, another begins. The next opponent tries his luck. No one risks a full-blown fight with this bull. The herd has a more pressing priority. They need to find water. The hyena mother has what she needs. She's found a fallen eland, the largest antelope here. Weakened by thirst, the eland was vulnerable. The hyena is not merely a scavenger and a thief. She's a skillful hunter, too. Most of what she eats, she brings down herself. Today, she's a killer. She can devour up to a third of her body weight in one sitting, consuming everything but teeth and antlers. This will feed her and the cubs for days. But she can't eat it all today, and it's too good to waste. The experienced mother knows a clever trick. She hides as much as she can in one of the last remaining river pools. The water will mask the smell from hungry scavengers. If the rest of the carcass is stolen, at least her stash will be safe. Tactics like this are key to her survival. Having done all she can, she heads home. Now she can suckle her young, and will go back for second helpings of the carcass later. Only, there may not be anything left. The lioness has helped herself to the hyena's kill. Lions will steal when they get the chance. In fact, they're more likely to take from hyenas than the other way around. To provide for her cubs, this hunter has turned scavenger. She needs to hide the carcass as quickly as possible. Easier said than done. Before she gets far, she's busted by jackals. One or two won't worry her. But that's not how jackals do business. Where there's two, there's more. If she's outnumbered, she'll lose the kill. The jackals get away with scraps. It's enough to distract them while the lioness stashes the rest. Her family should now get the food they need. Still no rain, as night settles over the dry Limpopo River. The hunt for sustenance never stops. While some animals rest, others get busy. This white-tailed mongoose hid from the heat of the sun, waiting for the cool of the night. It's when his favorite foods are out. He's not a fussy eater, hunting everything from small birds to snakes. But nothing beats bugs. The busy hyena mother also works the night shift. It's her chance to feed the two demanding cubs after losing most of her last kill to the lioness. Nearby, another impala meets a grisly end in the deadly embrace of a rock python. Africa's largest snake can reach 6 meters. Non-venomous, he kills by suffocation, tightening his grip each time his prey exhales. His jaws can stretch 3 times wider than his head, wide enough to swallow an impala. But tonight, he might not get the chance. The hungry hyena mother smells opportunity here, though she's not the only one. Tangling with a python is one thing, but she's also got to contend with intruders. As the clan's alpha female, a brief show of strength is all she needs. And dinner is hers. Both the hyena and the lion families are content, for now. A new day brings even drier conditions. The Limpopo's last life-giving pools have all but gone. Predators have claimed another victim, and others gather up the leftovers. Vultures, often death's first responders, have a bad reputation, but they're essential to the African ecosystem. These master scavengers can strip a carcass in minutes, reducing the spread of disease. The Limpopo is no more. The animals that rely on the river have reached breaking point. Clouds build, but they're an empty promise. The much-needed rains fail to arrive. But hidden away, some part of the river still lingers. The elephants know the secret. The matriarch leads the way to the parched riverbed. This is a job only elephants can do. A desperate act for desperate times. Methodically, they dig for buried treasure. Water. The matriarch sensed this water from several kilometers away and led the herd to salvation. Teaching the young ones the location of the wells and how to dig them will be crucial to their survival. These holes provide a community service, supplying water for other animals. But even these wells will succumb to the prolonged and searing heat. And the wildlife that relied on them will continue their thirsty search, their numbers thinning along the way. Impalas, weakened, are at risk of predation. They've lost yet another youngster. This baboon is making the best of a bad situation, scavenging the carcass. A baboon will rarely eat meat, but if pressed, he'll eat anything, from small animals to fungi. Whatever it takes to survive in Africa's harsh environment. But sometimes, even this isn't enough. This mother can't let go of her dead baby. Compelled by her maternal instinct, she might carry it for days. Around the dry riverbed, life and death goes on. But this time, luck is on the side of the lioness. She's found a wildebeest carcass. The carcass attracts other lions from her pride. But as usual, the hyena mother isn't far. And she has reinforcements. The lion and hyena once again vie for the same prize. may not be much, but the lions desperately need this food. If the lioness can get the carcass further away from the threat, she'll stand a better chance of keeping it. But that only riles the hyenas even more. Building in numbers, they can't let that carcass out of their sight. The commotion upsets the elephants. They have youngsters to protect and won't tolerate trouble from the neighbors. All are drawn into the conflict. The lion is distracted, and the hyenas make their move. The lions are simply outnumbered. But this isn't over. The hyenas may have the prize, but it's clear who is in charge here. The herd won't back down. Spooked by the elephants, the hyenas let down their guard. It gives the lions a chance to turn this around. The carcass is almost bare, but worth everything when food's this scarce. The hyenas win the day. This time. The lioness returns to hungry mouths. The unforgiving season has punished all of the animals here. But change is in the air. A new season finally begins. depleted pools fill and flood, pouring into the main river channel. The Limpopo roars back to life. As the rain subsides, a monster emerges from the muck. A male African bullfrog has only one thing on his mind, and it isn't lunch. After months underground, it's time to mate. He heads to a shallow pool in search of females. But there are other males vying for their attention. The large males take position in the middle of the pool. This is their arena. The two largest males confront each other. The contest is on. The brutal fight can lead to injury and even death. The victor takes his place in the very center of the pool, where his reward, a female, joins him. He can weigh nearly 2 kilograms, twice the size of the female. She'll produce thousands of tadpoles, which will be fully grown in just a few weeks. The Limpopo, the source of so much death, now helps create and attract new life. Visitors flock here too, across thousands of kilometers and an ocean. European swallows. They're here to feast on insects provided by the river. But they're in for a surprise. Tigerfish leap from the water to pluck the birds out of the air. They've adapted to take food from where it's plentiful. It's behavior that's seen nowhere else in the world. The Limpopo has filled its banks, and the wildlife is making the most of 1,600 kilometers of flowing river. The elephants can frolic and drink their fill. Their relentless search for water finally over. The hyena mother can bathe undisturbed, enjoying the deeper pools and not worrying about storing food. She's taught her cubs how to survive the next dry season. And the lion family is thriving. With the cubs getting stronger day by day. For a brief time, life flows easily along the Limpopo River.